I'm Matt Bedell, a licensed professional counselor and licensed chemical dependency counselor in Allen, Texas, providing therapy to people ages 14 plus. Whether you're watching this video for yourself, research, or for someone you care about, I'm glad you are here. Addiction and substance use impacts everyone in some way, whether you know someone or are experiencing strong urges yourself. This video will discuss what prevents people from getting help, the steps to become your own hero, and having early expectations for treatment. We will not define addiction due to the complexity of defining addiction, although that may be a separate video. Nevertheless, let's get going. The number one reason people do not get help is due to stigma. To understand stigma, we first start with understanding what shame is. Shame is any feeling that there's a threat to connection. It's a cousin of guilt, where guilt is I have made a mistake, shame is I am a mistake. Stigma originates from an aspect of ourselves we believe to be accurate, and we feel shameful about the accuracy and what that means to others. So we avoid thinking, talking, or sharing about our struggles. There's a belief that if something is wrong and others knew about it, we would be left in the dust or criticized harshly. Unfortunately, the reality for many people living with a substance use disorder or addiction is that stigma becomes true in many areas of life. When compared with other conditions, people negatively judge substance use more harshly than mental health. Often the fear comes from overhearing or simply an intense fear of being called losers, lazy, or having no future. Furthermore, people experience more significant workplace discrimination when disclosing their substance use history than race, religion, sexual orientation, or gender. This shocking information helps us understand why people don't get help and support they need. This next slide is a little lengthy, so bear with me, yet it's super important. Since shame is a social construct and not going anywhere, we are challenged to regulate our response to shame. There are 3 steps to begin reducing shame's presence in your life. The first is an easy mnemonic device: should equals shame. They should know better. I should stop drinking. Not all shoulds are harmful. However, the word should separates us from our reality and creates an expectation that whatever follows the should is the ideal and must be the reality. Rather than should, try would like to choose differently, hope to, or want to, which all take ownership at different levels. I want to stop drinking. I hope they know better. Another element of shame is a pressure to be different, which also happens when we inappropriately use have to or need to. I have to make money, yet do I have to make this much? Do I have to stay in this job that's partially fueling my addiction? Do I need to stop? Having to and need to is for safety only, which means we are being realistic with what truly is a need or have to. I do have to make money. I do need to drink water. However, if there is no safety involved, try using want to or would like to instead of have to or need to, at least for a short time, and see what changes. Lastly, many people minimize and criticize their accomplishments by using but. An old phrase is nothing matters before the but. I didn't drink today, but I'm having cravings. An easy switch is replacing but with and using the same sentence. I didn't drink today and I'm having cravings. Cheerlead yourself and people you care about that are overcoming addictions. Since shame is a threat to connection, connection is the opposite of shame. We can fight that internal struggle by challenging the shame and engaging in healthy relationships despite the fear. I played sports growing up, and my mom instilled a mindset in me at a young age. She encouraged me to try any sport I wanted, although I could not skip practice or quit before the season ended. I used this mindset to remind people to socialize when they do not want to out of fear or shame. Don't let fear make your decisions for you. If their friends or family aren't healthy, that's a separate story, and sometimes we make excuses to keep unhelpful people around. However, I digress. If you have someone in your life that's healthy for your recovery, go to all the practices, socialize when you don't want to, and be your own hero. By now, I hope you can see a path through your shame. However, since we are human, we're bound to make mistakes. In a moment, I will talk about the growth mindset, and I want to take a second now to acknowledge how intimidating and daunting therapy might still seem. However, the goal is to meet you where you are in your wellness journey. In my office anyway, in the early stages of change, I try to challenge the fear of relapse because I know of the abstinence violation effect. The abstinence violation effect causes people to experience more shame, increase their use once they relapse, and have more extended periods of time between getting help. This does not mean abstinence is not the ultimate goal, simply that we are more likely to relapse in early stages and don't need to fall into the abstinence violation effect. If you're someone that doesn't want to achieve abstinence, yet wants to develop a healthier relationship with a substance, that's okay too. Again, our goal is to meet you where you're at in your wellness journey. Instead of putting pressure to be perfect when the cravings and urges are the strongest at the outset, I try to see if there are any unanticipated cues to use again or what we could learn from a relapse. In their first attempt at sobriety, some people want to become the ideal recovery person and never drink or behave with addictive tendencies again. However, that part of you is likely what fuels other positive areas of your life that you haven't appreciated yet. I want to grow those areas too. According to the trans-theoretical model of change by DiClemente and Prochaska, there are 6 stages of change. Each step has a different emotional need to be met before moving on. In pre-contemplation, where everyone is telling the person what's wrong, we need to understand their feelings of being overwhelmed and fear of change before they can move into contemplation. In contemplation, people ask more questions than they answer and often benefit from support and validation that their questions are fair. When people shift to planning, the fastest stage for most people, we prepare for and educate them on risk evaluation. We encourage people to feel as safe as possible before entering into action, where we put the plan in place. During maintenance, sometimes we can become complacent rather than content, feel fatigued, and relapse, which again is a time to reflect on what was learned and what new things we can be aware of for the next effort. Different theories and therapies approach recovery differently. If you'd like to learn more about various therapy modalities, please be my first comment and let me know. In my office, I gather skills from acceptance and commitment therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, and cognitive behavioral therapy, as well as interpersonal therapy, and teach some of these skills here. The most significant indicator that someone is ready to proceed onward without support from therapy or groups is the development of a growth mindset. A growth mindset often is shown in gardening. While specific skills include planting and trimming, you must also provide nurturing care through watering, fertilizer, getting appropriate sunlight, and monitoring for diseases. Over time and with consistent effort, the plant grows and we feel more fulfilled. So too is recovery a set of skills, and you require nurturing care. The main focus of a growth mindset is the reinforcement of effort. 100% effort does not mean 100% change or perfection. Instead, 100% effort means we are being realistic with our expectations, caring for ourselves to keep ourselves growing, and look at most things as skills we can improve upon with practice. My analogy is a bus. When they reach a destination, they pause momentarily, pick up new people, drop others off along the way, and then continue forward. They still stop for gas, maintenance, and rest, yet are consistent as much as they can, getting better over time and with every route. I want to leave you with these 3 thoughts. The first is that when someone decides to get help for addiction or substance use, they begin a grief process. Often the habitual nature of addiction brings a sense of familiarity and comfort, which, when we acknowledge change is on the horizon, we shift to a new method of functioning and mourn the loss of comfort. Worry tends to pop up a lot in early stages, and worry is an emotional problem we try to sprinkle logic over and rationalize our reality. We don't always have to like reality, we just can't deny reality if we want to move forward. Slow down and acknowledge the present emotions, then proceed more with directed logic. Lastly, you only get one you. So become your own hero by being cautious of how you talk to yourself and challenging yourself not to let fear make your decisions. No one can change for you. I wouldn't want someone to change me either. So be your most prominent cheerleader and advocate. Stay present, stay mindful, practice contentment as a skill, and engage in frequent self-compassion. I believe in you. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you have learned something, and if you have any questions, please let me know. There are also resources here for getting help when you're ready. Take care, and I look forward to talking with you soon.